Okay, back with you everybody. Okay, wanted to do just a separate video on Evelyn Farkas. Did some research on her, and it's very interesting what you find. For those of you who have been watching my daily videos on Towergate, you'll know that from the very beginning I've been saying that this was probably a Clinton operation that began back in the winter or spring of 2016, and that it ran all the way through the election. And then once the election was over and Trump won, I think that this operation moved into the White House as an operation to try to discredit Donald Trump, do as much harm to him as possible, and possibly even try to lead to maybe his impeachment. I don't think any of this is going to happen, but anyway, I think that that's really what we're looking at with this whole operation. Now, I assume most of you have seen the video by now of Evelyn Farkas. And it's extraordinary because the woman literally admits to being involved in at least 3 or 4 crimes just in the statement that she made. Let's go through that very quickly. We know that Evelyn Farkas was in the Obama administration. She was the Deputy Secretary of Defense. The Deputy Secretary of Defense. She specialized on issues dealing with Russia and Ukraine. And there's some other clips I saw of her last night. She's a neocon, basically. Hardliner, anti-Russian hardliner. So, you know, she goes on MSNBC, and we know that she left the Obama administration, her position there, in 2011. But she's talking about, on the interview, things that were happening toward the end of the campaign and in the transition period. Meaning that she was not part of the Obama administration, as she said on MSNBC. She was receiving and in contact with people of intelligence, getting surveillance information, getting intelligence information, classified information. But she wasn't part of the administration. She left there in 2011, which meant that she just admitted to the receiving of classified information, and also into the dissemination of classified information. So that is pretty much a crime. She's admitting that she was dealing in classified information when she was not in the administration and should not have been in a position to do so. She also mentioned that she was giving this information to people on the Hill. We can assume that that is Democratic politicians or their aides. Which would, of course, be against the law. That would also be a crime, and probably each instance of that would be a crime, because she's getting information about private citizens for the purpose of it to be leaked. So that's another big issue. So, you know, there's various problems with her statement. And I believe at this point, she probably, after she got off air, she probably had several phone calls telling her to pipe up, to clam up, to shut up, and to go away, to hide. So I imagine that it'll be hard-pressed to get an interview with her anytime soon. I assume she will be called to testify in front of the House Intelligence Committee, maybe the House Oversight Committee. And so right now she's lawyering up and shutting up is probably what she's doing right now. Something else is very interesting that I learned is that she served, her most recent position was that she served as Hillary Clinton's foreign policy advisor on Russia. That's what she's been doing. She's working for the Hillary Clinton campaign. Now, as I said, I believe that this was a Clinton operation that eventually moved into the White House. So think about that. We've got all this anti-Russian stuff, all these leaks coming out, all this stuff to try to connect Trump to Russia and try to prove that he had some sort of I don't know what you would call it, what they think he's got going on, but some sort of collusion with the Russians to do what I don't know. But anyhow, she's working for the Hillary Clinton campaign, and she specifically deals in things about Russia and foreign policy. At the same time, all these leaks and all these accusations are happening. She admitted on MSNBC that she was going back and forth, working with people on the Hill, talking to people in the intelligence community, encouraging them to leak stuff, getting information, spreading information, trying to acquire information. So what it looks like to me, this is just a guess, is that the main role that Farkas was playing in the Clinton campaign was that she was probably the intermediary between the Clinton campaign and her friends over at the Justice Department and the intelligence community. That would be Loretta Lynch, John Brennan, possibly Clapper, maybe other people, maybe McCabe, the assistant at the FBI, maybe Comey himself. But it appears that she was the one maybe who was feeding the information, keeping the information moving to keep this program they were running on Trump going. So she might have been the point person in between the Clinton campaign and the insiders within the Justice Department and the intelligence agencies to be the coordinator of all this anti-Russian propaganda to take down Trump, to keep him from being elected, which did not work, or to destroy him, to try and destroy him after he had won the presidency. So the very fact that we find her attached to Hillary Clinton and the Clinton campaign, does that surprise anybody? Certainly not me. Didn't surprise me at all. So now we have the Clinton connection, and as I've been saying since I've been doing these videos, if we ever get to the bottom of this rabbit hole, we are going to find out that this was a Clinton operation, certainly at the beginning. Once the election was over, it probably moved into the White House and took on a different character. But still, Evelyn Farkas definitely has a role to play in this. She obviously has essentially admitted her complicity in all of the stuff that was going on that they're trying to get to the bottom of right now. I certainly expect that she'll be called to testify in front of Congress. I would not be the least bit surprised if she shows up there with a lawyer and takes the fifth and does not answer any questions. At which point, you get a special prosecutor and you slap charges on her for sure, and you see if you can get her to talk, which you probably could. Put enough pressure on her, she certainly would crack and become a songbird. So anyhow, this is the deal with this Evelyn Farkas. Her connections are to the Clinton campaign, the Clintons, just as I suspected, and she is handling and dealing with classified information excuse me, that she's not authorized to be looking at or even receiving, which means that there's someone who gave her that classified information, which means that there's someone at the Justice Department, someone in the intelligence community who was giving her this intelligence that she was not authorized to receive. And then she's spreading it around. So, I mean, she's in a lot of hot water here. I don't see how she wiggles off the hook here. And she knows a lot, and she knows too much. And again, everything that you see when you look at what she has been doing, where she's been working for the Obama administration, working for the Clinton campaign, all of it involving Russian propaganda, all of it involving trumping up charges against the president. It all just looks bad. And I think it is exactly what it looks like. I think she was an operative for the Clinton campaign. I think I will be proven correct in the end if they ever go deep enough down this rabbit hole. So we'll see what happens, but there it is for you folks. Evelyn Farkas working on the Clinton campaign. A Russian expert, so to speak. And someone who's probably in need of a couple of good lawyers and some duct tape. That's what she's needing right now. Okay, so there we go with Evelyn Farkas. Again, if you haven't watched the video, there's a link to it on my previous video. I'm sure you've seen it by now. We'll see what happens and develops from this point forward. But there's definitely some smoke around this person, and we'll see if it turns into fire. Alrighty, you all. Take care. Bye.